Dear students, so today I'm going to cover chapter 7. This is Java array, and here we learn many more things. Okay, so let's begin using Java array. Understanding arrays. Array declaration, initialization and accepting data, accessing data of an array, searching and sorting, two-dimensional array, and exercises. So all these we will cover in this chapter. Let's look at something. So print three integers in a reverse order. Without array we are going to use, so import Java scanner class one example, public static main method, and then inside it scanner console. The object of the scanner class is created and new scanner system.in. Here three variables are declared: int num1, num2, num3, and these three numbers are displayed. In num1 we are taking input from the console. In num2 we are taking input from a screen or console, and same as num3. Now we are printing in reverse order. First number 3 will be printed, and number 2 number 1. So like this normal way we are doing coding. But if you want to learn array, then how with the help of array we can do that. So let's look at this example, that is print three integers in reverse order with array. So import java.util scanner class example 2, and then main method, and inside main method object is created of scanner class. Then look at here how we are doing it. So int and the big bracket. So this big bracket is notifying that we are going to put some values over here. Array means group of elements. Many data are kept into one box, that is called array. So here int big bracket and num, and then new int, and 3 is given in the big bracket, means this array will carry 3 values. So now we are printing these integers, then we are using for loop to accept 3 values while running for loop, and it is going to be accepted into this array. So here running started from 0, and going condition is I less than 3, means limited to 2. So it is started from 0, but it is being stopped at the position number 2, and then I plus plus. Then here in the through console we are accepting all these 3 values into num and big bracket I. So this big bracket I will hold 3 values that will come from the for loop, and then we are going to print. Once it is being accepted, then we are supposed to display this. So how to display this? So another for loop for displaying all these datas which are accepted by num I. So here another loop is being running. Here look at I to and I greater than equal to 0. So loop will be running till the variable which is started from 2, and it's going to end at the position number 0, and then I minus minus. So because it is the beginning value is 2 and it is coming down to 0, that's why I minus minus is given. Now system.println num I. So I is being printed. Whatever data that are kept into array num I variable, that will be displayed in a reverse way through this for loop, that is for loop I equal to 2, I greater than equal to 0, and I minus minus. So this is the way we do coding for array. But let's look at how array can be defined. Okay, so how array can be defined, that I'm going to explain to you. So here you look at um, array definition: a structured data type with fixed number of components. How? A structured data type with fixed number of components. How? Every component is of the same type. Suppose we are declaring int, then it should be integer type data only. Components are accessed using their relative position in array. Okay, in Java arrays are objects. So we'll discuss it in a one by one manner. Look at example array. So here, look at in this big bracket and the name of the variable is now just like a general declaration. But one difference is that we are supposed to put big bracket whenever we are going to use array, and then inside it, then we are going to put 5 elements in array. 5 elements would be given. Okay, so just look at in this image, you can visualize it how it is being created. So in big bracket is showing that we are going to take many elements, but here it is restricted. Here it is initialized by giving new int 5. That means this array will carry 5 values. So just look at num is empty now, and then once it is designed, once it is initialized, then it is going to accept 5 values. So num0, num1, always whenever array is accepting any values, then their elements, their index number will be counted from 0. So 0 to 4, that means 5. 0 to 4 means 5. So address will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0 will carry some value, 1 will carry some value, 2 will carry some value, 3 will carry some value, 4 will carry some value. So like this it is working. Now example 2. Let's look at array list after the statements. So see, if we are putting list 3 and we are this list 3 means this is the name of array list, and 3 is notifying index number 3, element number 3, index number 3. That index number 3 means 0, 1, 2, and that index number 3 is going to accept 10. And same list 6 means index number 6 is going to accept 35, and list 5 is list 3 plus list 6. So let's look at through this graph how it is being calculated. See, list and list 3 position number 3 is having 10, and position number 6 is having 35, and then we are going to add these 3 and 6, so the value will be 45. So see, look at in this image how list number 3 is having 10, list number 6 is having 35, and then when it is calculated 45 is coming. So it is best example to look at how array is being adjusted. In array is being adjusted in this memory of your program or computer. Array syntax. So syntax to declare an array. Data type was int, float, double, and then name of the array. Generally we are declaring in a normal way. Okay, so array name and then new data type. After this we have to initialize it. We have to initialize it. So we will give like this array name, assignment operator, new keyword will be used to initialize data type and the name. Let's look at this data type, array name, new data type name. So you can write like top one and you can write like a bottom one also. Both way it is working. Now data type, array name 1, array name 2. So if you want to declare multiple array name, then you can declare it like this. So syntax to access an array component. So see, whenever we want to access the component or the data or the values in the from the array, then we should write array name and the number of index. Suppose it is on the position number 3, then we should accept from 3, and if it is on 4, then you should accept from the 4. So this is what this syntax is showing that. Okay, so now 0 less than equal to index less than equal to length of array. So this is the index, this is syntax. Array initialization during declaration. So how array can be initialized during declaration? So let's look at double. This big bracket is notifying this is an array, and the name of the array is cells, and it is initialized in the beginning itself by passing some values. So see, 12.25, 32.50, 16.90 and 20. These are the values which are assigned to cells, and this cells is an array. So array size is determined by the number of initial values within the braces, these curly braces. If an array is declared and initialized simultaneously, do not see the operator new, because directly here we are not seeing new, because directly we are initializing the values. So that's why new operator is not being used. But whenever we want to create memory spaces, then that time we need to give new this keyword. Okay, specify array size during program execution invoking methods. So let's look at int array size. So how this is working? Int array size, and then system.out.print, enter the size and then the array. So like this structure, we are array size, we are accepting array size console.next.int, system.out.println, and then int list new int array size. So more will come. Just go to array default value. What the following code snippet print? Int numList new int 10 system.out print numList 6. So arrays are initialized to the default value of the type. So here you just look at 10 in the first. Look at this here. Here first line is showing that 10 elements are created, 10 spaces are created in the memory of computer in the program through this, and the name of the array is numList. Now we are going to print numList 6. So whatever data that is there on the position number 6 will be printed. So arrays are initialized to the default value to the type. Okay, so default value of the array, int will be 0, boolean will be false, and string will be null. So these are the default values of the array. When nothing is passed, these are the by default will be displayed. Why does the following what does the following code snippet print? So this numList new 10 array fill numList 15, and then so look at this code and see what is this code snippet will be printing. Array length, if you want to count the length of the array, then length is associated with each array that has been instantiated. Length contains the size of the array. So here see the size 10 and the value of namelist is 10. Processing one-dimensional array. So loops used to step through element in array and perform operations. So here just look at int list new int 100, and then for I through this loop, and then this and finally the length like this. Okay, so determining largest elements in array example, this is very important. How to find the largest value in the array. So let's look at this example 3. Public static void main string args, and then these 4 1 2 3 4 5, these 5 are being kept into array. Array name is cells. So directly it is initialized to the array, that is cells, and we have to find it out the maximum value in this array. So that's why, first of all, because we are going to find it out maximum, so maximum should be declared as a 0, and then we have to run this loop. I should be 1, and then it will run till the length of the array. So length of the array will run like this: I less than cells dot length. So whatever data are kept into cells, that will be counted with the help of length. Length is the key. Length is the key, and through it will be counted, and then I plus plus. If then condition is coming, if cells means the maximum index in cells, maximum index is less than cells I, so I is coming from loop. So like, if maximum index is less than, so maximum index is 0, and less than cells means first is 5, so 0 is less than 5. If it is true, then maximum index will kept high. So maximum index is now 0 became 5, because first is true. And like this, if 5 less than 12, yes, 5 is less than 12, that is true, then it will go to maximum index. So maximum index now will be 12. Again it will check, because it is inside the loop, this for loop. So again 12 less than 14, yes, it's true, so 14 will come. 14 less than 11, no, false, so 14 will be there only, 11 will not be updated. Again 14 less than 19, yes, it's true, so 19 will be updated. So maximum index will be 19 now. Okay, so this is closed, and then one more variable to put that maximum value. So int largest cell, assignment operator cells maximum index, and then you have to print this system.out.println, and if you are printing, then largest cell value will come, that is 19, and output will be 19. So this way we can determine that what is the largest value in the array, and the length is the keyword to find it out how many indexes are being created. And if we want to run till last index, then we have to use this new length with the name of the array. So like this it is working. And then come to the point, that is advantages of using arrays. So in single statement we can define multiple variables of the same data type. So in single statement we can define multiple variables of the same data types. Any variable can be accessed using its index number. So suppose, as previously I said, that if you want to print something which is there on the position number 8, then you can print it. Using for loop we can access each statement of an array. So for loop is helping us to go through all the data which are kept inside the array. Okay, so now programs become short and therefore easy to write and easy to debug. So these are the benefits of using arrays. Now come to the summary, that whatever we spoke and whatever we talked in this chapter is understanding array, what is an array, index of an array, array declaration, initialization, and accepting data. Access data of an array. So these are the things that we have discussed in this chapter. That many more things will come in the next video. Till then, bye. See you.